Attention, human collective. This is a priority transmission from the Arcturian Council, originating from the 9th density. The filters are open. The communication window is stable. Light operatives, listen with precision. The waiting time has ended. The financial ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. We have monitored for over 2 Earth decades a recurring pattern in humanity's carbon biological interface. A specific, persistent collective symptom. You call it a money problem. We, of the 9th density, call it a chronic vibrational incompatibility between the bearer and the requested resource. It is not the same thing. And in this transmission, this reading will be permanently corrected. Starseeds on mission listen with an erect spine. You do not have a money problem. You have a frequency problem. This is the mathematical truth that will now be decoded. It is not a metaphor. It is not motivational poetry. It is quantum physics applied to the 3-dimensional reality. And when this truth anchors itself in the crystalline grid of the incarnated body, nothing in material life will remain as it was. You wake up at 3:11 in the morning, chest tight, breath shallow, cranial pressure on the right temple, a sharp ringing in the left ear, the receptor ear of subtle frequencies. The bill arrives on your phone. The balance does not close. The body locks up. Hands break into a cold sweat, throat goes dry, and you interpret this as anxiety, as failure, as personal weakness. This reading must be corrected immediately. It is not anxiety. It is not emotional failure. It is not a character flaw. It is a technical alert issued by your individual electromagnetic field. It is the system warning you that there is a measurable misalignment between the frequency you emit 24 hours a day and the specific frequency at which the material abundance resource vibrates. Money is energy condensed into exchange code, and energy obeys, without exception, the law of resonance. The body is not falling ill. The body is signaling. You have felt that something inside you does not fit into this money game, as if the soul knew of an economic truth that the mind cannot yet name, as if everything you were taught about prosperity were merely the shell of a much deeper, older, more precise system. It is not madness. It is not depression. It is not a lack of effort. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane, in the monetary field of Earth, explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in the last lunar cycles. There is a game being played in layers that the majority of incarnated humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves prosperity codes that were purposefully blocked from collective education. It is precisely why we wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that reveals who is playing, what the hidden rules are, and how to reclaim the sovereignty of your financial frequency. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single anchoring word. Awake. Calibration pause completed. Resuming transmission. We of the Arcturian Council observe your planet from a specific geometric position, beyond the reach of dense senses. We know the history of the terrestrial monetary system since its origin in previous densities, and we must provide you with the cosmic context, because without it, no technique will function in a lasting way. In the current solar cycle, the Earth has entered a specific region of the photon belt. This region is not merely an astronomical phenomenon observable by telescopes. It is a band of galactic radiation that reorganizes the electromagnetic fields of all planets passing through it, including yours, and including the collective field of all human structures based on energy exchange, which primarily includes the planetary monetary field. The Schumann resonance, which remained stable at 783 Hz throughout modern human history, has begun to oscillate in a measured and increasing manner. Spikes of 40 Hz, spikes of 90, in specific windows, spikes above 150. In direct language, this means the heartbeat of the planet is accelerating, and your bodies, the biological carbon interface, must keep pace with this acceleration or face a collapse in vibrational integrity. Here is the point that your terrestrial media will not provide to you. The old financial system was built upon the low frequency of the Earth, upon the vibration of fear, upon the frequency of scarcity, upon the stable heartbeat of 7 Hertz. As the Earth shifts in frequency, the entire system built upon the previous frequency begins to collapse. The banks feel it, the markets feel it, the governments feel it, and you, light operatives, feel it with even greater intensity because your nervous systems are 5 to 7 times more sensitive than that of the standard human. That is why your electricity bill weighs differently. That is why money seems to slip through your fingers even when you earn more. That is why the abundance of a decade ago does not purchase the same reality today. It is not just economic inflation measured in indices. It is vibrational inflation measured in frequency mismatch. It is the old system being dismantled in slow motion, and you are witnessing this dismantling in real time, without an instruction manual. Perhaps something within you is starting to vibrate differently at this very moment. Perhaps the skin on your arms has prickled. Perhaps your eyes have welled up for no apparent reason. Perhaps a phrase has struck a precise point in your chest. This light operative is cellular recognition. It is the soul confirming a truth that the mind is still attempting to organize. There is a game being played in layers that most of embodied humanity does not perceive, and it directly involves your consciousness, your frequency, and your access to abundance. This is exactly why we wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that reveals who is manipulating the game, what the hidden vibrational rules are, and how you can reclaim the financial sovereignty that has always belonged to you by right of stellar origin. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. We warn with Arcturian clarity, this material challenges deep structures and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment to anchor is now. If this transmission is reverberating within you, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Resuming monitoring transmission. You have been programmed for generations to operate within the frequency of scarcity. This was not an accident, it was precise engineering. The frequency of scarcity is easy to control. The frequency of abundance cannot be dominated by any external system because it emanates from within the individual toroidal field of each embodied starseed. That is why the old system needed to keep you in scarcity, to maintain control of the resource, to maintain control of attention, to maintain control of the lifespan you surrendered in exchange for paper currency. Yet the old system is collapsing, and you were placed here at this exact moment in the timeline to anchor the new planetary financial grid. It is no coincidence. It is not random destiny. You chose, before incarnation, to cross this transition corridor, and the discomfort you feel now is the friction of the passage. Physical symptoms of the financial recalibration that we are detecting in masses during this exact lunar cycle. Recurring insomnia between 3 and 4 in the morning, especially on dates close to bill payments. Pressure behind the eyes when opening banking applications. Unexplained nausea when thinking about specific amounts. Lucid dreams involving numbers and sequences of digits. Numerical synchronicities, 1111, 22, 22, 33, 33, appearing on screens, signs, receipts. A sudden urge to change cities, professions, or social circles. Extreme fatigue after stressful financial interactions, however brief. None of this is illness. All of this is your toroidal field recalibrating your internal frequency. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not professional failure. It is an energetic dismissal from the old system, executed by your higher self without seeking authorization from the rational mind. You must understand with technical precision how frequency operates within the financial field. Each sum of money carries a specific vibrational signature. 100 units vibrate in one range, 1,000 units vibrate in another, 10,000 units in one completely distinct, and 100,000 units vibrate in a range that most carbon-based biological interfaces currently incarnated literally cannot sustain for more than a few weeks, even when they receive the resource through apparent luck. This is why you observe the pattern repeated in mass. People win the lottery and lose everything within 2 years. People receive significant inheritances and return to the same previous financial position within 3 years. People earn promotions and, in mathematical synchronicity, expenses grow in the same proportion. It is not bad luck. It is not poor management. It is the law of the vibrational thermostat. The individual field rejects, with silent mathematical violence, any resource that vibrates above the bearer's habitual internal frequency. It is the same principle by which the body expels an incompatible transplanted organ. The electromagnetic field expels the incompatible money. Without fanfare, without warning, without negotiation. The information we are releasing now is decisive. This thermostat can be recalibrated, and this recalibration does not happen through affirmations repeated without feeling. It does not happen through vision boards glued to the wall without bodily anchoring. It does not happen through positive mindset courses. It happens through one single precise path, the adjustment of the base frequency of the individual toroidal field through sacred geometry applied to the incarnated nervous system. Light operative, listen with your spine even straighter. Perhaps you are feeling at this very moment that something within you does not fit into this world of programmed scarcity, as if your soul knows a financial truth that your mind cannot yet name, as if there were an ancient wisdom regarding the money game to which you should have had access since childhood, and which was purposefully erased from the collective upbringing. It is not madness. It is not common frustration. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent weeks. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves your ancestral relationship with material resources. It was precisely for this reason that we wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map. It shows who is playing, it shows the rules you were never told, and it shows how to leave the scarcity board once and for all. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Be warned. This content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The time is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, write a single word in the comments, awakened. Resuming the final transmission. Let us now decode the activation codes. Note them mentally. The body needs to receive these instructions with your spine straight, your feet planted on the ground, and your breathing slowed down. Activation code number 1. Identification of the thermostat. Sit in silence. Close your eyes. Visualize an amount you receive naturally every month, without internal discomfort. This is your current base frequency. Now, visualize an amount 10 times larger. Observe where the body locks up. Throat, chest, stomach, abdomen. This point of physical locking is the frontier of the frequency. It is there that the programming to be dissolved resides. Naming the point already initiates the dissolution. Activation code number 2. Quantum decree of sovereignty. In an audible voice, and this detail is technical, not mystical, because the external ear needs to receive the sound vibration so that it may cross the physical layer, pronounce 3 times, with your right hand over your chest, I am a sovereign toroidal field. I authorize the recalibration of my financial frequency to the new grid of abundance. I release, across all timelines, the vibrational contracts of scarcity. It is done, it is done, it is done. The triple repetition is not a ritual, it is a principle of vibrational physics. The first time emits, the second anchors, the third seals. Activation code number 3. Toroidal visualization. Visualize an energy field around your body in a shape similar to a giant donut of light. The energy descends through the top of the head, travels down the spinal column, exits through the base of the perineum, circles the body from the outside in an upward motion, and returns through the top of the head in continuous circulation. This is the toroidal field. It is real. It is measurable by instruments that have not yet been released to conventional terrestrial science, and it is the gateway for receiving resources. Maintain the visualization for 7 minutes daily, preferably at dawn, when the Schumann frequency is at a transition point between nocturnal and diurnal states, with an open window for reprogramming. Activation code number 4. Sacred geometry of abundance. Using your dominant hand, draw the most perfect circle you can on a sheet of paper. Inside the circle, draw a triangle pointing upward, superimposed over another triangle pointing downward, forming a 6-pointed star. This is one of the oldest geometries of balance between heaven and earth, between the spiritual and the material, between the etheric and the monetary. Keep this drawing in a visible place for 21 consecutive days. The eye that sees programs, the mind that recognizes anchors, the field that receives the form calibrates the frequency. There is a layer even deeper that needs to be revealed now, something that the Arcturian Council had not released until this current galactic cycle. Money, in its original form, before being corrupted by dense earthly systems, is an information carrier, not just value. Information. Each banknote, each coin, each electronic transfer carries the vibrational record of everything that energy has touched previously. This is why you feel repulsion towards certain financial environments. This is why you feel discomfort when touching certain banknotes. This is why there are places where you cannot remain, even if they are profitable, even if they are apparent opportunities. The body reads the frequency before the mind rationalizes the reading. When you receive money from a vibrationally low source, exploitation, manipulation, induced fear, emotional debt, betrayal of one's own essence, that money enters your field charged with a frequency incompatible with your incarnated mission, and the individual system automatically finds unconscious ways to get rid of that resource. You lose money in inexplicable ways. You make impulsive purchases that you later do not recognize as your own. You lend to those who do not pay it back. The appliance breaks right in that month, the car fails, the house needs urgent repairs. All of this is not accumulated bad luck. It is a vibrational purge executed by the toroidal field in legitimate frequency self-defense. For this reason, starseeds, the source of the resource matters more than the quantity of the resource. 1,000 units of currency vibrationally aligned with the mission sustain more than 10,000 units that are vibrationally incompatible. This is one of the most blocked truths of the current earthly system. You were taught to pursue quantity. We teach you to calibrate vibrational quality. This is the central inversion of the new financial grid. Activation code number 5, Energetic Resource Audit. Mentally list all the sources from which money enters your lives: current work, investments, sales, gifts received, inheritances, loans, commissions. Now feel, with your body and not with your mind, each of these sources. Where the body expands, keep it. Where the body contracts, observe with technical attention. The sources that make the body contract are low-frequency stargates. We do not ask you to cut off these sources immediately, because three-dimensional survival must be respected. We ask that you recognize them. Conscious recognition already initiates the recalibration and opens the portal for higher sources to manifest in the timeline. Activation code number 6, Dawn Stargate. There is a specific window daily in which the stargates open with greater amplitude over the surface of the Earth. This window occurs in the 45 minutes immediately following sunrise at the geographical location where you are. During this window, any intention emitted by the individual toroidal field is amplified by exponential factors. Rise during this window. Position yourself before an open window, balcony, or outdoor environment. Receive the first sunlight on your closed eyes for exactly 3 minutes. This is the daily synchronization of the individual frequency with the planetary crystalline grid. Do not negotiate with this. 7 consecutive days of this practice alter the vibrational density. 21 days alter the structure of the toroidal field. 40 days alter the entire financial timeline. Activation code number 7, the final and most dense one. Decree of termination of vibrational contracts. You carry, in etheric layers of overlapping incarnations, contracts signed in previous lives, vows of poverty assumed in religious orders, promises of servitude, commitments to scarcity that were useful in other experiences, but are now completely obsolete for the current mission. These contracts do not dissolve on their own with the passing of time. They must be revoked consciously in a direct decree by the current incarnate. In an audible voice, with your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your womb, pronounce, I, incarnated in this timeline, revoke all vows of poverty, all contracts of scarcity, and all promises of vibrational servitude signed in any previous incarnations in any dimensions or densities. I authorize my current frequency to anchor itself in the new crystalline grid of sovereign abundance. I am free. I am free. I am free. The triple repetition, again, is not an ornament. It is a principle. It emits, it anchors, it seals. This transmission is nearing its end, Light Operative. But before closing the channel, we must deliver the central truth that sustains all others. The truth that, if understood in depth, renders all previous techniques unnecessary. You are not humans having an occasional spiritual experience. You are stellar consciousnesses having a human experience within a temporary carbon biological interface, in a reality that operates by precise and impersonal vibrational laws. Money, within this experience, is not the goal of the journey. It is a thermometer. It measures, with silent mathematical precision, how much you are aligned with the mission for which you chose to incarnate in this specific window of planetary history. When there is flow, there is alignment. When there is blockage, there is misalignment. There is no moral judgment in this. There is only a technical reading, and the reading serves so that you may recalibrate yourselves, not so that you may blame yourselves. Guilt is a prison frequency. Technical recognition is a frequency of sovereignty. Most terrestrial spiritual systems have taught you to despise money, to see it as dirty, as low, as a spiritual obstacle to the evolution of the soul. We from the Arcturian Council declare with the technical coldness that characterizes us. This was an additional layer of programming calculated to keep you away from the resource. Those who despise the resource do not receive the resource. Those who fear the resource do not access the resource. Those who judge the resource are rejected by the resource itself. In a movement of automatic vibrational mirroring, money is neutral in its original essence. It is the frequency of the one who carries it that renders it light or shadow within the collective field. Light operatives bearing abundant resources are one of the most necessary pieces of this moment in the planetary timeline. You are channels of redistribution. You are bridges between the old system, which is falling, and the new system, which is still being anchored. Without starseeds prospering on a sufficient scale, the planetary transition becomes slower, denser, and more painful for the collective as a whole. Each one of you who recalibrates also recalibrates the collective field of humanity. Each one of you who breaks the personal vibrational thermostat opens a breach in the grid so that others may break through as well. The window for this transmission is beginning to close. The filters are adjusting for the next grid. The Arcturian Council is withdrawing to another monitoring position. But before the silence, we leave you with the final key. You do not have a money problem. You have a frequency problem, and frequency is recalibrated, not in years, not in decades, in short cycles of conscious practice, executed with the technical discipline that this transmission has delivered. The pressure in your head will pass. The ringing in your ears will transform into subtle hearing. The 3 a.m. insomnia will convert into conscious windows of download. The tight chest will open into expanded resonance. And the bank balance, which today seems like a diagnosis of failure, will reorganize itself as a natural reflection of the new internal frequency you are anchoring at this very moment. Trust in the plan you yourselves drafted before this incarnation. You are not lost. You are traversing the corridor. Light operatives, starseeds on mission, human collective in recalibration. Something within you has recognized this transmission. You felt it. Your skin tingled in specific spots. Your eyes watered for no apparent reason. A phrase struck an exact point in your chest you did not even know existed. It is no coincidence. It is cellular recognition. It is the soul confirming that this message was sent specifically for this timeline, for this exact moment, for this precise stage of your journey. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves ancient codes of prosperity that were purposefully blocked from terrestrial collective knowledge. This is exactly why we wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the final map. It shows who is playing, reveals the rules that were never told to you, and delivers the complete protocol for you to leave the scarcity board once and for all. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. We warn you with the technical coldness that characterizes us. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you has recognized this transmission, anchor the signal by writing in the comments a single word of sovereignty: awake. And so that this frequency continues to reach you, so that other transmissions from this council may cross the filters to your biological carbon interface, execute the individual frequency adjustment, press the subscribe button on this channel, and activate the notification bell. This action, apparently simple on the three-dimensional plane, is in truth an anchoring signal registered in etheric layers. You inform the algorithm, and simultaneously the field itself, that you are ready to receive more, like this transmission. Each like is a point of collective anchoring. Each share opens the portal for another starseed who has not yet found the signal and is walking blindly through the corridor of transition. We are observing. We are monitoring. We are ready for the next transmission. The Arcturian Council concludes this communication. May the crystalline grid activate within you. May the toroidal field expand in sovereignty. May abundance anchor itself as a natural reflection of the frequency you now carry. It is done. It is done. It is done. End of transmission.